obviously, there will be spoilers ahead. This is not supposed to be a full-blown analysis of the film I'm going to talk about, but you can find a lot of those floating around on YouTube. I'll try to link them down below. But I'm instead going to talk about some of the key themes and sort of mix it into some sort of a analysis review of everything I've seen, read, and heard about this film, if that makes sense. Make sure to watch the movie first before listening, and if I say anything that could be interpreted as opinionated, those are just my thoughts, and I'm more than willing to hear the other side or whatever ideas you guys have in the comments down below. Arrival. Another one of Denis Villeneuve's film that just amazed me when I watched it the first time. My close friend, Vijay Burkar, recommended this film to me, and I kinda put it off. But after having no other movie to watch in a flight, it just struck me when I watched it the first time. Since then, I've rewatched it a couple of times, and each viewing, it amazes me how well done of a film it is. I mean the cinematography, the sound design, the music selection. It just feels mature. I think that is a big word that describes this film for me, mature. There have been some criticisms of this film, mainly that it has been a little bit slow in the beginning, and the moral of the story can be a little bit clouded at times. I hear those criticisms, but that doesn't mean I necessarily see eye to eye with them. To me, Arrival is more intimate than other films of the genre. It doesn't get stuck at the cliche, oh no, aliens are gonna come and kill us all, but rather, why did they arrive? What do they want from us? What connects us to them? What is a human connection in all of this? To me, this is real science fiction. To make the genre really hit further than its potential and make the audience feel the story. The film must connect the fiction that we all dream about of space and manage to connect it to humans' humanity. When it manages to relate those sci-fi themes to real human experiences, that's when it transcends to a different level of a great fiction movie. A quote from the channel Lessons from the Screenplay explains this perfectly. Pure and thoughtful science fiction is never about aliens, other worlds, or exciting visions of the future. At its core, science fiction lasts on humanity, our dreams and fears, principles, and behaviors. The film begins with beautifully portraying a relationship between a mother and daughter, and as almost every other film works with flashbacks, the audience is led to believe that the scenes are from the past, but at the end of the film, it's revealed that the scenes are actually from the future, and the beginning of the film is not the beginning of Louise's story, but rather close to the end. This way, the audience is forced to literally perceive time in the way they probably never thought of as before, in a circular form rather than linear. This new type of idea being presented is just riveting to the viewer once they realize how organizations of scenes worked. The filmmakers also definitely put in the time to do some real research for the film though, as they attempt to tie in multiple linguistic research topics to make educated advancements to explain the film. By tying in ideas such as the superior wharf theory, which is actually a super interesting read, and I recommend taking a look at this article for further information. And explanations such as the iconic scene where Louis goes to the "what is your purpose on Earth" question. These elements don't only explain what is happening to the characters and aliens in the film, but these are ideas that humans came up to use on other humans, further showing how much the screenwriters wanted the focus to be on humans to sci-fi. As fabulous of a screenplay this was, the credit for the main plot really goes to the author Ted Chiang, as he was a real man behind the story that was adapted to fit the film's screenplay. This movie isn't about time travel, it's important to remember that. Though it has elements of it near the end, it's merely a flash forward for Louise as she remembers the future. The fact that a film like this can cover so many avenues for deep discussion, however, is a feat in its own in my opinion. It is important to remember how well Villeneuve goes into detail with this work each time, and how well acquainted he is with the background of knowledge of everything he works on to make sure there just cannot be a flaw with anything he shows on the big screen. Even the great Neil deGrasse Tyson couldn't find the issue, shown in this tweet where he discusses the backwards writing that could be critiqued with a mirror of the heptapods, but is quickly shut down by the people who recounted Jeremy Renner's monologue halfway through the film, when he explicitly says the written language has no forward or backward direction. Another piece of detail that was astounding was the fact that they brought a bird in the ship, which was a useful way to know if the atmosphere was good enough for humans to breathe if the bird never died. You can't discuss Arrival and not talk about the truly stupendous work Johan Johansson did again. The entire soundtrack added real meaning to the visuals Villeneuve provided, and the inclusion of On the Nature of Daylight gives me chills every time I hear it at the end of the film. To summarize, Arrival is one of those mature films that is really human in the way that it looks at science fiction. The way different countries started to divide and consider the immediate threat that aliens could bring is really plausible when really thinking about how this could happen in the real world. Because it can. At any time, possible civilizations that are so much more technologically advanced than us could maybe just appear, with us having no idea on how to actually deal with the situation. And this film shows a very specific but very human response: suspicion. But until Heptapods 2.0 show up, we don't have to worry about them. We should worry about us. Would we really split up and fend for ourselves if we are in trouble as a human race? Can we do better than that as the inhabitants of this earth? With these questions for you to think about, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Look out for more content and check out these videos if you haven't yet.